I wanted to actually ask you, if one were to get into philosophy, like where do they start? Because for me, like I tried to read Nietzsche's Beyond Good and Evil. Mate,
That's
mate, I couldn't understand.
intense.
I
That's
couldn't
intense.
understand what he
That's
was saying.
intense.
You get like little bits of it, but
Yeah,
it's completely beyond comprehension for me.
yeah.
So for me, I feel like I've always tried, and I always get this pushback because it's so technical,
Mm.
very abstract. Honestly, I actually tried to read a couple of your papers, and I couldn't really make out what you were saying.
Oh
No,
no, I'm
no, but
so
like,
sorry.
no, it's not your fault. That's more to do with me. I'm just like, so I've always wondered, how do I get more into philosophy? And I think many struggle
Yeah,
too, because it's like, yeah, it's not kept away from us, but I feel like because of some of the technical
yeah.
terms and whatnot, it's hard to sort of become a philosopher.
I think there are a couple of ways that this can be done. So, what I recommend is, even though from a kind of subversive intellectual perspective, the Greeks aren't the be all and end all. So, there is a kind of myth that philosophy begins with Greece. So, no, Western philosophy begins with the Greeks, but not philosophy simpliciter, because every culture has engaged in philosophical praxis. There's nothing unique, particularly about Greek philosophy. It's just a particular domain of European philosophy. Plato is a perfect person to begin with. So I would always say the first text to read from Plato is the Republic.
Mm.
Beautifully written, so interesting about the connection between psychic harmony and political harmony as well. Because Plato is not just a brilliant thinker, he's also a brilliant writer.
Mm.
And I think the key thing that people need to get into philosophy is finding a philosopher who's gifted as a writer as well as a thinker.
Mm.
And there are very few philosophers who have that ability. So I think Plato's Republic is a great point to start with.
Mm.
If you want to, Nietzsche is a brilliant writer, but I wouldn't do Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, that was
what I would recommend instead is On the Genealogy of Morals.
Mm. Okay.
That's much more kind of slow paced. It's one of Nietzsche's more elementary works. Not to say that it's superficial, still super profound work, but it sets the stage for things like Beyond Good and Evil.
Mm.
Another philosopher that I would recommend definitely reading is Frantz Fanon. Anything by Frantz Fanon, either Black Skin, White Masks or The Wretched of the Earth.